Hello all, this is Daniel Berman, USCF Expert 2131. Today I thought I'd be going over a game in the French defense where I was white in 1999 at the National Open. I just picked this game up randomly, but it looked like an interesting game after going over it. Um, so the theme in this one is development. I just got more developed quickly, and my opponent fell behind and stayed behind. So my opponent's name was Greg Niemi. He was an expert, 2055, and I was probably around 2100 at this time. So we were close. So I played e4, e6, d4, d5, e5, the advanced variation of the French, c5, c3, queen b6, knight f3, and bishop d7. Now it's interesting. There's well-known lines to play knight c6 and bishop d7, and pretty much you can reverse the order, go bishop d7, knight c6. But you get an extra option when you play bishop d7 of going to bishop b5, which happens to be known as the Wade variation. Simply just trading off black's bad bishop for white's good bishop. So here I decided to develop normally, bishop e2, and later on I learned probably a3 is a little bit better. But this is book, bishop b5, and here I played the main line in the Wade variation, which is c4. Very interesting. It basically messes up black's pawn center in order to trade off the bishops, and I get my knight developed nicely. So bishop takes bishop, bishop takes bishop, and now if black plays d takes bishop, I can play d5 and get a very large space advantage, and it's very difficult for black to defend the pawn on c4. He'll have doubled pawns, and I'll just get a lot of activity. But he played a move that I didn't expect, because I guess I was new to this variation. Just queen check. So I play knight takes, and he goes pawn takes. Now d5 is not so easy because he can just take, and I don't have queen recapture. So I decided to develop normally. Now look, this theme was development, and I've developed two pieces in castle, and he has a queen on b4 that can be attacked, so he doesn't have to move that again. Knight c6, trying to catch up. Pawn takes, rook over, queen c2, and he moved a piece twice in the opening, which gets you even further behind. So I play knight takes knight, rook takes knight, and I could go knight f3, hitting the rook and then developing my bishop, but I saw a little bit better. Knight e4. And the idea is if bishop takes c5, I go knight takes c5, queen takes c5, and then bishop here, pinning the rook to the queen that's here. So he backs it up. And now bishop d2. There's another tempo move. So I've castled, got three pieces developed for his two pieces developed. So I'm way ahead of development. c3 gives up a pawn. I'm not sure what that's about. Bishop takes, and then queen b5. Now I'm holding the pawn. So now I'm up a pawn. It used to be that I was down a pawn, now I'm up a pawn. So it's two pawns swinging in my direction. Queen c6, queen e2, trying to get in b5, the space. Knight h6. You couldn't go knight e7 because of knight check, and the king has to move, and I go knight takes f7. Be pretty much the end. This is bad, but that would have been the end. Rook f to d1, bishop to e7, rook takes rook, pawn takes, and now my shot knight check. Now if he goes bishop takes, I got pawn takes and queen e7, and it's pretty bad because the next thing is actually the worst is I could go bishop g7, winning a piece. So he goes there. Queen f3. Now my idea is possibly swing my bishop back to d2 and take the knight and mate him on f7. b6. Bishop d4. Now I could have probably gone bishop d7 immediately, but I had plenty of time, so it didn't really matter. And I was thinking, Actually, if he opens up the b file for my rooks, great. So rook g8. It's desperation. Bishop e3. Pawn takes. Um, Pawn takes. Now I played that because if I play bishop takes knight, he just goes bishop takes knight, and then he can recapture, and I don't have mate anymore. g5. Rook ab1. Threatening check. King g7, trying to get his rook developed. h5. That's a good move. Bishop takes knight. Blunder. Queen check. And he resigned because of king to f8. Only move. I have two moves. Rook check on b8. And if the bishop takes, I win the queen. But I could start everything off with just queen takes knight on h6. So that's it. Thank you very much.